catch up. Turn there if you can. Okay, page 33. So what this is this looking at curve sketching. Y'all did a good job with the Desmos activity of matching. All right. What we have is these are the derivatives. So this derivative, f prime here, is 2. Okay. So this f prime is 2. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out, all right, what the possible f of x is. Okay? I hadn't written anything yet. Okay? So, this means that this is 2. So, our possible f of x, all right, doesn't it always have to be on the positive side? All right? So, my f of x needs to be increasing the entire time. So, my possible f of x is going to be a straight line that's increasing. Okay, and like Jaheim said, that means that my f of x would be 2x. So a slope that has a graph that has a slope of positive 2 and increasing all the time. Okay, part B, if my derivative is a straight line, that means it's linear, so it's something x. That means my f of x is something squared. Okay. So this one appears to be negative on the left-hand side of 0 and positive on the right-hand side of 0. And at 0, it's also 0. So here my f of x at 0, it is 0. And we said it's decreasing on the left-hand side. All right, and then it's increasing on the right-hand side. Okay, so that's how we would handle those two. We're just sketching some of the curves. Okay, I will. So if you look at the slopes of the tangent lines, aren't those slopes of the tangent lines decreasing? That's why they are on the negative side over here. Then they hit 0 at 0, the slopes of the tangent lines. Then they become positive on the right-hand side of 0. That's why they're on the positive side over here. Remember, this is the f prime of x. That's the slopes of the tangent line. We're kind of going backwards. Yes. All right. So let's look. Okay, let's look at the derivative. So here the derivative is something x squared. Right? It's some kind of parabola. So my f of x needs to be one higher than that, right? So it's not going to be a line. This is going to have a curve. It's going to be a cubic over here. Okay, it's going to be a cubic. Now, let's look at what we know. All right, when is f prime of x 0? Okay, at 0. Okay, we also know that it is decreasing on this side of 0. So it's decreasing, then it hits 0, and then it continues to be decreasing. All right, isn't that a cubic? That is a cubic.
Wait, why do you draw it like that? I drew a straight line.
Okay, it's decreasing over here, and then it's decreasing again. It's got to have like a little layout, horizontal layout in the middle. Okay? I didn't draw it great. Because it hit 0. Because the derivative tells you it hit 0. Okay? Now, part D. This one, when is this one 0? Negative 3 and 1. So I'm going to use that to help me out. All right? F of x is negative 3 and 1. Okay? It is negative up until, all right, it's negative up until you get to 4, right? So my function is decreasing, okay, up until I hit 4, all right? Then it's going to be increasing from 4 to negative 3, okay? It's still increasing from negative 3 to 2. Then it's going to be back on the negative side. Okay, because I'm looking at where it's located only. All right. So I got some negatives, and then I got some positives here. Okay. So we're going to think about what would that tell us about our graph. Okay, this is a cube, right? So we're going to have some kind of thing to the fourth here. Okay, so up until -4, my graph is decreasing, right? Okay, when it hits 4, it's going to be increasing. So we're decreasing, then it's increasing. Okay? And as it passes through 3, it stays increasing. So we're going to have to adjust this. All right? It's decreasing. Decreasing. When it hits 4, it's going to increase. But it's still got to go through 3. All right. I'm stupid. I'm not very smart. Okay, listen to me. When is the derivative 0? Not when the slope of the tangent line 0. Yeah. So when is the derivative 0's there, right? And there. And there. Okay, a cubic should have 3 zeros. Okay? So that's going to be where our points are. All right? Where our tangent line is 0. Okay, so since we know that f prime is 0 at -4 and -2, we know that here the slopes of the tangent line, slope of tangents, is either a positive or a negative at those points. Okay? So it's either going from positive to negative or it's going from negative to positive at those points. So we have some kind of relative extrema there. All right? So if on the left-hand side of 4, all right, our function is decreasing. Okay? Then, all right, when we get to -4, that is when we have a 0. And it says this thing passes through -4, 2. Okay? So -4, 2. All right? So this is decreasing till it gets to there. There's our slope tangent line of 0. Sorry for the bell. Okay, then it goes and it increases. Okay, so our graph is going to increase. And it's going to continue increasing until it gets to -2. So at -2, we have another one of those. All right, this time going from a positive to a negative. So it's going down. All right, we have another one of those critical points. Okay, now we're going to follow. This thing continues to decrease. All right, continues to decrease. So it's going to keep going down. Keep going down. All right, continues to decrease. And then it's 0 at +4, okay, again. And then it increases for the remainder of its function, okay? So that would work for that one. All right, because I messed that one up so badly, I'm going to look at another example with you guys. Okay, so let's look at example E. All right, if we can, let's look at example E. What I notice about E is that the derivative is 0 at 2 places. Okay, at 5 and at 1. All right, so example E is going to help me out a few ways. So I know that I'm going to have either a positive to negative or a negative to positive or some kind of horizontal layout. All right, at -5 and at 1. Okay, so we know at -5 and at 1 we have something where my f of x has a 0 slope of a tangent line. Okay, so let's look at see what that might look like. Okay, so we're going to use our information. We know on the left-hand side of -5, our graph is decreasing. Okay, on the right-hand side of -5, this thing is increasing. Okay. Then it is 0 again, and then it's increasing after the 0 at 1. Okay, so a few different ways that we could look at this. All right. So what I'm going to do is at -5, okay, we're going to be decreasing. Then we hit our 0 at -5. Okay, now my graph is going to increase. Okay, it's going to increase a great deal here. All right, it's going to increase. At 1, we got to flatten out because this has got to be 0 again. Okay, the derivative has to be 0 there. And then this thing's going to continue to increase. Okay, so that is a possible graph of what f of x would look like. Okay, so that is parts C, D, and E. So what you guys have for homework tonight is I want you guys to do the homework. All right, I want you to do A, B, and D for homework. Okay, so just those 3 for homework. Also want you to finish working on the numbers 1 through 22. Okay, that's going to be huge. All right, great practice because you guys are going to have a test on Thursday. Okay, so good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. I know you guys are going to do awesome.